I have been blessed with the opportunity of knowing Kelsey for all of my 11 years. While she has traveled all throughout Michigan, I have gotten some new outfit upgrades that she probably didn't know about. She has yet to teach me about her weird science jokes that no one gets. My sister, Kelsie, is so courageous. If it's from climbing inside of a tractor to save a kitten or speaking in front of hundreds of people about FFA and agriculture. During college, you know when you need that one easy credit, well, she took that to her advantage and took karate. So now we have to learn it. I mean, don't get me wrong, karate's fun. We all love you to bits and pieces. Please welcome me, Kelsie Let's, a Region 1 State Vice President.
Good evening. It's with great pride and privilege that I have the opportunity to introduce your next speaker. Rather than focusing on the list of her accomplishments, I believe Adrian would rather that I share a few words that she has reminded me of along the way. Make no mistake about it, Adrian is a special young lady. The question is, what makes that statement so true? Ultimately, after much thought, 4 words keep coming to mind: coachable, comfortable, committed, and caring. Coachable. It didn't take long after Adrian walked into my classroom as a freshman to know that she was going to be a little different. I remember Adrian asking a simple question her freshman year: "Mr. Barnum, what contest do you think I should do?" Something about that was a little different than in the past. Normally, the students tell me what they're going to do, or I'm recruiting members to fill a team. Not Adrian. She was looking for advice. Eventually, she settled on creed speaking, and the work began. Adrian didn't walk into room 80 at Mason High School with dynamic public speaking skills and an amazing stage presence. What she did come in with was a desire for feedback and an ability to use that feedback to get better. 4 years later, winning the National Prepared Public Speaking Contest is a testament to just that, being coachable. FFA members, seek advice and listen. Comfortable. Adrian is comfortable with herself, comfortable enough to focus on others. What a powerful gift or skill that is. If you've ever met or worked with Adrian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's the person that is first to greet others and make sure they feel welcome in any situation. Committed. Adrian is committed to excellence, committed to doing her best, committed to her team and carrying out her responsibilities. Good is not good enough. Your best is good enough. Winning is only the result of the process of continuous improvement. Caring. Adrian cares about others. Here's an example. On the day of leadership contest, you would often find Adrian in my back room. One might think she'd be working on final memorization of her speech or studying a little harder for those questions. Wrong. Adrian was writing individual notes of inspiration and motivation to each team and individual that was competing in our chapter. She often puts others first and makes sure she doesn't let her kind thoughts sit idle. She takes action and makes a positive difference in the lives around her. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome your state president, Adrian Schunk.
I just wanna look more like love. This whole world is spinning crazy, and I can't quite keep up. It's the one thing around here that we don't have quite enough.
Patience.
Hurry up, you've got so much to do.
Kindness.
If I'm kind to them now, maybe they'll do what I want them to do later.
Truth.
Share what you're thinking. Don't worry if you offend people in the process.
Respect.
It doesn't matter if you bend the truth, as long as you get what you want.
Do what's important to you.
Just worry about impressing the people around you.
There are two voices we can listen to when it comes to leadership. One is telling us to do everything that's impressive, try harder, get ahead, and worry about ourselves first.
The second voice, however, completely contradicts the first. It challenges us to lead a life of love, to be patient, kind, and selfless. All things that are so much harder to do, things that aren't always that impressive, but are truly important. Yet, when it comes to leadership, we should really focus on what's impressive, things that will make us look good as leaders. Then others will want to follow us, right?
2 summers ago, I spent a month on the work crew of a summer camp. Work crew members had all different jobs: laundry, kitchen staff, property maintenance. But my job, it was a perfect fit for my unbelievably awkward and incredibly clumsy self. I was a waitress. You guys, I was terrible at my job. I dropped plates daily, and just for fun, we began to keep count. By the end of the month, I had dropped 17 plates on the ground, spilled a container of 500 knives, and dumped 3 trays of food on my way out to deliver it to campers. But that's not even the worst of it.
Every single morning of high school, my alarm went off at 5:45 a.m. And every morning, I would reach out, hit snooze, and pull the blankets back over my head, praying for just a few more moments of sleep. Yet without prevail, those mere moments of sleep never came, because every morning my mom was flipping all the lights in the house on by 5:46 a.m. and calling up the stairs, "Kelsey, are you up yet?" Each morning, I would respond with a "yes, Mom," rolling out of bed and staggering straight down the stairs and out our back door to feed my calves and complete my barn chores. One morning, as I stepped out into the crisp fall air, I was kindly greeted by my herd of beef cattle standing in our backyard. Rushing back inside, I called out, "Mom, Dad, Andrew, the cows are out again."
Every Friday was fancy night at camp. Each of the 600 campers and their leaders would dress up, come to dinner, and celebrate the incredible week they had experienced. On fancy night, we went all out. We're talking salad, roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and the best chocolate cake in town. Before campers arrived, wait staff would set the salad and the dressing at the center of each table, ensuring that appetizers were ready as soon as campers walked through the door. But on this particular Friday, we were running late. It was 6:25, and campers were supposed to walk through those doors at 6:30.
Without a second of hesitation, everyone dropped what they were doing and rushed outside to help. After several minutes of chasing calves, waving buckets of feed, and counting cows to make sure they were all there, we got them back in the pen where they belong. We then headed back inside to finish getting ready for work and school. Despite the chaos of the morning, I now had less than 10 minutes to be out the door. Grabbing my backpack and flashcards, I ran to my mom's car where she was patiently waiting.
My job was to, ever so carefully, carry a tray of 20 bowls of dressing and place one at the center of each table. I was doing great. I had gotten all the way from the kitchen to the dining hall, a whole 50 feet, without even tripping once. But by the time I reached the first table, The tray was getting pretty heavy, and I was struggling to keep it upright. As I reached for the first bowl of dressing, I watched in slow motion as the entire tray dumped out of my hands and onto the ground. 20 empty bowls and gallons of red salad dressing sprawled across the tables, chairs, and bright blue carpet of the dining hall. I looked up to see campers anxiously lined up outside, dressed in their fancy night clothes, waiting for the dinner bell to ring. As I sat worried about the mess that I had made, unbelievably frustrated with my clumsiness and inability to do anything right, my work crew boss, Michael, walked up to the scene with towels in hand.
On the way to school that morning, my mom and I ran through physics flashcards and talked about my basketball game coming up that night. Then just as we were pulling up to the school, I asked her, "Hey, Mom, what hours do you work today?" Being a hairdresser, my mom never works regular hours. They're changing every single day. She replied, "I'll be going in early so I can make it to your game tonight. Well, you'd better hurry or you'll be late."
Michael wasn't mad. He wasn't upset about the wasted salad dressing, about the now permanently stained carpet, or about the fact that we would probably have to postpone dinner a few minutes. Instead, he said, "Let me help you clean this up." I watched as he got down on his hands and knees to clean up the mess that I had made. I kept apologizing. I'm sorry, I'll do better next time, I'm so sorry." Michael looked up and smiled at me. "Adrian, it's okay. You're not asked to be perfect. You're just asked to serve as best you can. And when things like this happen, it just reminds us that we can't always do it on our own." In that moment, I saw one of the clearest pictures of leadership I ever had. You see, Michael's first priority was not impressing others with the perfection of the dining hall, the best staff, or even dinner being served on time. Instead, Michael's first priority was true leadership. It was getting on his hands and knees to clean up the mess that someone else had made, saying, "I am here, I am with you in the midst of this mess, and I will come on your level and clean it up right beside you."
Giving my mom a hug, I hopped out of the car and ran to the bus that would take me the rest of the way to school. Yet my mom's words still drifted through my mind. She had said, "I'll be going in early so that I can make it to your game tonight." How could my mom do this, particularly on a crazy day like today? Wake up early, make lunches for my siblings and I, take me to catch a bus, then go home and get my siblings ready for school and get herself ready for work. Better yet, though, why? Why do both of my parents do so much for my siblings and I? Let me tell you, they could always choose the easy path to life, the impressive path, where they choose to stay at work and make more money, take time for themselves, or even sleep in. But you see, they continually choose to come to our athletic events, FFA competitions, and even aid in putting cattle away on crazy mornings. My parents have decided to live the important path of life because they value relationships, see the importance in supporting others and lifting them up. My parents have decided to live every single day of their lives with patience, compassion, and above all, with love.
If I'm honest, I can't remember the last time I got down on my hands and knees to serve someone like Michael did. I can't think of the last time I took a few minutes out of my busy morning to serve someone else, and I know that certainly wouldn't be my first choice. When left to my own devices, I know that my self-centered heart would choose pride and convenience over selfless service any day. But if there is one thing that I've learned from Michael, from genuine leaders and from love itself, it's that true leadership can only happen when we set aside all of our pride, all of our convenience, and all of our lives to serve the people around us.
The way we love others and others love us won't always be extravagant or obvious. As a matter of fact, most of the time, it'll be subtle and it'll be humble. You see, when we lead a life of love, we are choosing to live a life of setting aside our own needs in order to fulfill the needs of others. We are the first to volunteer for the small jobs that are anything but impressive. Washing the dishes, cleaning the floors, or even putting cattle away. When we lead a life of love, we are setting aside time out of our very busy schedules to make time for others, for what is truly important, even if it's not all that impressive.
When we lead with love, we're not asked to be perfect, and we don't ask others to be perfect either. But we do know that it's only through perfect love that we will ever be able to lead others well. When we lead with love, we understand that what our world, what our communities, and what our leadership needs is not impressive, is not perfect, and is certainly not easy. You see, leading with love will require us to have the audacity to flip stereotypical, impressive leadership upside down, proclaiming to every single person we meet, you are first, and I am last.
The decision to lead with love is more than a single choice or action, but a way of life. When we lead with love, our purpose becomes serving others with the entirety of our hearts. We're not placing judgment or looking for personal gratification. Rather, we are striving to tell others with not our words, but with our actions that you are important. Michigan FFA, lead with love.
Kelsey, though you may come off shy at times, we've gotten the privilege to get to know the real you and found out real quick you're not so shy at all. Thank you for coming up with such great conversation starters and listening to each of us as individuals. Michigan FFA, our Region 1 State Vice President, Kelsey Letts.
Adrian, your constant humorous jokes, your love for cookies, and your passion for this organization are what set you apart and make you so unique. Thank you for all the laughs, memories, and for always being open for life chats. Michigan FFA, our state president, Adrian Schunk.
Stand face to face with the younger me.